Hey, thank you for tuning in. All right, let's see. Looks like it's just me and Isadora right now. Can you hear me okay? All right. So I'm just going to get my various decks together. I got a new one, but why don't I? You know what I need to do is I need to write down when I buy a deck off Etsy, I need to write down in a little notepad the deck and just put them all in my template for my videos. And that way you can see what decks I use. But, that's the organized part of me. Then there's the other disorganized me. Hey, Ash, honey, how you doing? It's nice to see you here. It's always nice to see you here. We support each other. I'm so glad you're here, honey, and I'm glad that you're doing well. You're a very talented young man. I'm super proud of you out there living life. So I was trying to think what readings I wanted to look into. Because it's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs everywhere around the world. So, I thought maybe I would look at Putin because I think there is a coup beginning to rumble. And I'm just going to kind of peep in and take a look at that while people are thinking of questions they might want to ask. And if you do have a question, please put it in all caps for me. I take a limit of 5. And I don't know how long my voice is going to last today because I kind of wore myself out yesterday from the protest and just hooting and hollering. We were having a good time. It was not a negative experience at all. I mean, there was one, where we got flipped off by a truck full of teenage boys, but I mean, like, who cares? So, but everyone else was super, super helpful and nice to each other. And that was really nice to see. Really great community spirit going on. Okay, hey, it's nice to see you there, JLOC87. Gina, hey. I know there are even larger No Kings protests than the previous ones, too. Yes, this was Saturday's so far has been historically the largest in the United States. Um, and now they are worldwide. That's one things I wanted to share with you guys. I saw one where it's in Israel where they're protesting Bibi and they're saying he acts like a king, just like what we're saying about Trump. And of course, it makes sense because they're very similar. So, got it. Got it, sunshine. So I thought that was interesting. And they're going to be getting rid of him too. And Trump's energy, I can already feel is starting to wane. Although I think he's got a little while, just a little while yet. But I can feel his energy is shifting. It's really weird. I think most of us can, you know? You can see the obvious decline when he's speaking. He's falling asleep. He's talking like somebody that's drunk, like in the middle of him saying something, he doesn't quite connect things. I don't know, quite the mess. Unfortunately, Maya, let's see, what does it say? No, you are making a big difference. I hope so. Even if it's just one other person, even if I can make one other person feel not alone, that's something. I just want to be myself and encourage any way I can that way. I think that's the most authentic way. Okay, Ash, got you. Number 2. So nice to see you all. BB definitely acts like, oops, wait a minute. BB definitely acts like a king, not for much longer. Nope. One of my readings here recently on him, excuse me while I get my coffee. What's left of it. I've got 2 bottles of water here, so don't worry. I need to drink more water anyway. But yeah, my reading here recently on BB. If you want to watch it, you can, but I can tell you, cut to the chase, he's in an ending cycle too. Most of these, one of the interesting things is that these dictator dudes and gals, people, are in an end cycle before a shift to something totally different. Okay, what are you guys saying? Ah, cold research. Hey, cold case. How you doings? Caught you. Yes, you caught me. Hi, thank you for doing so. And Maria Scorpio. Got some Scorpios in the house. Yes. And Miss Scorpio, Miss Beautiful Scorpio, you're number 3. Oh, you went through a breakup. I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. I know that's hard. I do. Relationships are hard. You know what? Even when you've been married a long time like myself, it's still a lot of work. A lot of work. Got your question, Gina. Okay. We have one more left. One more left. If somebody has a question, and then we'll say that we are filled up and we'll get rolling. As long as my voice holds out. Okay. Now, let me see about, I was going to show you the new deck, wasn't I? Okay, Mystic Path Oracle deck. Thank goodness she put it on the, for simps like myself, she put it on the bag. Very nice. I love these canvas bags. They're so cool. You can always repurpose them if you don't use them. Oh yeah, Angels in Disguise. We're going to have fun with this one, you guys. Look at that. There's my youngest over here, Mickey. You want to say hi real loud? I hope you could hear her. Oh, thank you. Yes, Maria, you are on the list. Your question is on the list, and we will look at your love life energy. And Gina's number 4. Let's see. Let me just look over my list again because I got Gina, I got Maria, I got Ash, and I got Sunshine. Sunshine, Ash, this is how it goes. Sunshine, Ash, Maria, and Gina. Okay, so there's still room for one question before I get going. I just want to shuffle this because I haven't shuffled it. So while I'm yik yakking to you guys and we're talking about stuff, let me move this pillow. I love this pillow so much. It's a giant sakura blossom. I love all things sakura. I'm a sakura nut. I love cherry blossoms and cherry blossom pink. We've got one more question open, Isadora. So if you see someone ask it, just grab them and grab me in essence with all caps and let me know. All right, so I'm going to pop. You were devastated. Oh, so it must have taken you, I'm guessing, by surprise. I'm so sorry. I really am. That's a trauma, That's a shock. All right. Let's all just stop for a moment and just center. And I want you just to focus in to your true nature, your true self, your higher self, and just kind of connect your earthly self, your higher self with me as I am doing. And let's call upon our guides, our mentors on the other side. And I'm calling on mine to help me to read clearly and accurately, and on yours to help us do these readings. It's a collective. It's a small village. And we just want to connect, and we want to lift everyone that's hurting in this world up to you, Lord. And we just ask you to protect and help all the most vulnerable, all who are in need of help. And we give thanks, and we send love all around the world and peace. We're just going to hold the light. I love that good trouble, Good trouble. Oh, Michelle, I'll take your question as numero 5. Cinco. And we are now full up. Hang on, you guys. I swear, I just took an antihistamine, but that's why I'm always puffy as well. Um, but it's not kicked in yet. Just drippy, just enough to be annoying. Oh, okay. So before I start on your guys' questions, I'm going to kick it off with let's look at, let's see, who was I wanting to look at? I think I wrote it down on a notepad. Let me just see if I covered any of these. Maybe I should just throw cards on Israel and see if they're going to, because I really have great hope for them. They don't, I don't like painting any nation with a brush, and say they're all like this, because we all know that's just simply not true about any place. So I would like to see, because I know that we will. I know that we will, and I think they will too, but I just want to see if they're going to shift over from this energy of having Netanyahu and people like him. If they've got it, they're going to get a good leader. I have looked at it a little bit, but not very much. So I think I'll roll that one out. Anything that I can do to diminish BB's energy flow into him in this world, I will do. To any ogre, Trump and he are a couple of smelly ogres. I know that's immature, but I don't care. So I'm going to use the Mystic Path Oracle deck, and I will put a link after I am finished with the live tonight in the description box for the whatever decks I end up using. I think you wanted to look at Putin. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. Thank you, Ash. I tell you, Isadora and Ash are the best mods ever. Okay, smarty pants, where'd you put your pen? You thought you were being... Okay, there. Put it away. And see, I couldn't find it. All right, let me just write it down, just in case. Because my flow of thought is... All right, especially when I start to go into the place of like reading. I'm in the ethers. So Putin and coup. And then we'll look at Israel, and then I'll look at your guys' questions. All right. I'm going to pin my paper, clip my pen to my paper. Way I won't lose it. All right. And let's see, it's kind of a semi-gloss, so it's shuffling pretty smoothly. Semi-gloss finished decks, I think, are the best. They don't have a big glare, and they shuffle more smoothly than just a kind of a raw, I don't know what that would be, unfinished paper deck of cards. Okay, let's get this. Let me see. I'm going to definitely get this. Let me just push this back because I don't want my leg to keep hitting the table. Oh, good. Super flexy. Oops. Very flexible. It's so hot in here, you guys. I won't complain because I love warmth. But it's warm. It's like summertime. And Northern California is not the warm kind of California. We're more cold. But I'm digging it. My arthritis just is like loving this. It doesn't hurt so much. Those of you with it know the feel. Thank you, Gina. It's from a box. The deck I bought from Trish is very slippery. Yes, hers are very slippery. That is true. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's just see at Israel first. Are they going to get rid of Bibi as soon as they can and really change the dynamic of their nation? I have a feeling they are. I just am looking for confirmation, I guess, really. Let's see what we get. I think I think a lot of these nations are going to have an opportunity, like America as well, to really change it to more of we the people, the populace deciding. And I feel like we're meant to do that all around the world to get people to be more connected, in a healthy way. All right, let's see what we get. All right, we're getting. Hmm, well, despite this being, she's giving me the wheel of fate and fortune, karma, change, destiny. I could finish it right now. Done. But I do like her beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful artwork? I just love the artwork of tarot. You can just meditate on a card a day. So it definitely is undergoing a cyclic change, a karmic change, a significant change. So I would reckon, seeing this card, that they will have a very different type of leadership. Let's see what comes with it. We're getting the moon. Yeah, so leaving the type that cover up their crimes behind and leaving uncertainty. And I feel like just the shady kind of behavior in leadership behind, period. It is, I think, also organically morphing out of that from the subconscious needs that people are aware of. It's moving along without even people realizing it, pretty much. So, interesting little note on the Cruise to the Moon card: victory, positive direction, outside your comfort zone, determination, control over your destiny. I like that. And experience new energy and optimism. So, that's really one of the words I was looking for: optimism. I feel that after these, and I really will take myself to task if it's not so. But I do feel that after how many years have we been dealing with Trump here? Since what, 2015 at least? You know, we are going to see a huge shift where we go from this negative energy that he's been bullying and tearing things to everything's negative, destructive, cruel, to a more optimistic energy and a more open, friendly, um, based on character, not judging people so much. I really am getting we're as a world going to shift that way. I haven't forgotten that I'm going to be doing a reading on 100 years from now. I've just been trying to get the energy up for it. Okay, so I see it as yes, definitely are. I'll pull a couple more cards on that, and then I'll go ahead and I'll shift to the coup question and your questions. All right. We get Voodoo Priestess. This is a cool card. So there's a spiritual connection, rituals, perhaps even people are doing, you know, and medicine, influence, conjure, people's power, personal power, people reclaiming their power and their intuitive power is definitely creating this change, following their instinct to go to a march or to write that letter or make the phone call to whoever their government person is to say, this is not okay. I am, letting you know that, doing my part. Now you do yours. And we get interesting. Ooh, the portal. This is a neat card. I'm going to have to really sit with these and do a little meditation. I like doing that. And it says opportunity. What would I say earlier? That it would be a real opportunity for us various countries to grow. And this is just, I feel like when I get these particular words, they're little signs for me like, yes, this is how it is most likely to go. This is really great. There's going to be a lot more guidance, I think, from our mentors that we will be able to receive more clearly. I think our intuition becomes uh, more to the forefront, and we are become more aware of it, and we will, I think, begin to grow that even more, as we don't have to deal with all this deflection of where our energies, I feel like, get wasted on politicians' tricks that go up their sleeve, rather than focusing on real help and real change. We've been having to deal with his temper tantrums every day. So this shows a spiritual force, and it's connected to the voodoo priestess, but it's not a negative. People might get scared of voodoo and think, oh my God, but no, this is not that. This is about people spiritually, I think, manifesting, practicing, bringing into influence through prayer and whatnot, change and recognizing opportunity. So we see that will happen for Israel. And I think they're going to get somebody very, very different. And I've seen in the past here recently, maybe even a female. So we'll have to watch that space. If it isn't a female, I can only say women will be very, very powerful in making the kind of bringing the right person to the forefront. And another really cool thing I wanted to share with you guys that's positive news in the midst of all this. Look at my curls, they're just crazy. Is that Palestinian mothers and Israeli mothers walked barefoot into Rome for peace. And I thought that was so moving. Thank you, Jay. I'll just call you Jay for short. There have been several unsuccessful attempts on Putin lately. Yep. That guy. So I really like this deck, you guys. Really good deck. Let's clear it. And we'll look at the coup situation and Putin, and then I'll get on to your questions that you've asked. It's so great to be here with you, even just virtually connecting with you. And I'm just sending you all positives from my soul to yours. Okay. Let's see. Putin. All right, I picture him. I think he looks like a really unhappy possum. He's got very beady eyes. Now, possums are kind of cute, but not Putin. Now, he's more like a deranged possum. J-Lo, thank you. All right. So is a coup coming soon? Is a coup about ready to happen in Russia? Is a coup about ready to happen in Russia? Is a coup about ready to successfully happen in Russia? I think I need to bring the successful word in. Okay. Is a coup about ready to successfully happen in Russia where Putin loses power? I just intuitively got a very strong yes. All right. Okay. Let's see what we get. Exploration, adventure into the unknown. Interesting. There is a movement, especially among the younger people in Russia, that they've never seen before, that are beginning to criticize and coordinate and be very effective, despite the fact that they've cut the internet and made it communicating more difficult. People are using landlines and, uh, as you've probably heard, paper maps, just like we used to have to do in the, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and before that. You should never forget your analog wisdom. And if you don't have it, you should learn it, because things don't in the digital land don't always stay up and running. So we get angels in disguise. I think yes. The vibe is yes. And it's unexpected guidance, trust. They are willing to they're willing to FO and FA or FA and FO. They're going to find out, but in a good way, I think. So, yes, I think the courage is there. That's the word I'm looking for, courage. And they're willing to step into that new chapter. I think part of this is because nations have to be ready for that. And as bad as it might seem, I tend to think that we have to go through what we go through in order to open us up sometimes to be ready to call out abuse of power and things like this. And I think that's pretty much true, because we've all been kind of on autopilot. And we should have been able to be. They should be doing their job, no matter what nation. They should be taking care of people and being decent. So I'm getting yes. There's that sense of courage and the desire to go into something completely new and with all kinds of possibilities with that pregnant zero. That is the Fool. They're willing to take the risk. They get Merkaba, advancing to higher levels, momentum, soul activation. They're waking up. This is a beautiful card. Love that for them. And it's very spiritual energy. Very spiritual. Wow, look at this. Transmute pain into beauty. Oh, yeah. I'm going to say yes. I have a feeling that they are going to go back to being one of the things that Russia's known for, their arts. Wonderful writers, artists, ballerinas, painters. You name it, right? And they have much to share with the world. And it's a darn shame that they have not had the opportunity to be able to do that very well. I think that's going to change. And we're going to see a real cultural revolution too going on in various countries where there's a renewal and people sharing these parts that have been pushed down or, I just really feel like it's a positive direction we're going in. And from a dream I'd had, I dreamt that we were going from the dark to the light. So just know that in the days when you might not feel so sure yourself, I know my dreams and I can take it to the bank. We're okay. We're going to be all right. It's scary as heck, but we're going to be all right. Yeah, and they get the universe. There's a completion cycle, and this is expansion. They're meant to grow and change, and they can't do it with him there. Yes, flash flood, emotional overwhelm, very passionate feelings, running high. Look at the water. So they're very much in their emotions, as you can imagine. You kind of have to be. You've got to have the, I would say, what's that? The adrenaline to take that on. So, yeah, I think that don't be surprised if some of the new news that we hear isn't that there's an ongoing coup. So I think that's coming up pretty quickly. I think it's pretty open. All right. So let's get on to your questions. We'll start with Sunshine. Okay. I'm going to grab a drink here. My vocal cords. I'm so tempted to clip up my hair just to tie it up. Because though it's fine, I have a lot of it and it is very warm. I was looking for my scrunchie. I've got it here. Okay. Let me just tie up my hair. Alrighty. I think that's good enough. Okay. I'm going to use my trusty dusty Rider-Waite deck. Okay. Well, maybe not. What does Spirit want me to know? Sunshine. What does Spirit want you to know? You know what? I'm drawn to use that Mystic Path Oracle again. All right. Let's give it a shot. There's a button on this mouse that I might have to buy a new mouse. I really like it, but there's a side button that sometimes accidentally clicks and it can close out my window. So if that happens by chance, I will restart the live. Alrighty. Sunshine. Sunshine wants to know what her guides are wanting to relate to her. What is the message? What is the theme? Sunshine. What is the spiritual guidance for Sunshine? This is on Sunshine. I love that name. Okay, Sunshine. What is her spiritual message from her spiritual mentor, her spiritual teacher who is with her 24/7? My feeling is we have one main one that's with us 24/7 and then like a couple others here or there that can come and go. It's just my feeling. If you think differently, or feel free to share. Okay, you get regeneration, Sunshine, new life, healing, and spiritual awakening. I really like that. So this makes me feel like an opening up of your intuition and maybe even greater sensitivity going on there, a connectedness with between realms with that rainbow, and healing, new life, regeneration. That's 10/10, so that's 20. Greater awareness as well. Seeing the microcosm, the small, and the bigger picture, the macro. Micro is small. That's, what's right in front of us, and then seeing the bigger picture when we pull back and we, you know, picture the earth instead of just ourselves. So it's something growing in that way. And oh, you get the sun, vitality. Really, like good health would be blessing is here for you. Personal growth, clarity, life energy, alignment with your path, luminosity, success, inspiration, and radiating love. Look at all the sun in this energy. There's clarity. So they want you to know that to trust your intuition, that there is clarity where that is concerned, and to follow joy, what brings you joy, to be playful, to lighten up, literally, to make sure that you get out in nature and touch the grass and watch the butterflies. I feel that it's all about nature and reconnecting and allowing it to heal you, Sunshine. Sunshine, you get sunshine. You get so much sunshine. There's a great deal of healing going on and growth and awareness that's expanding. And I think you're drawing more light to you and drawing people that are more of light rather than, let's say, really troubled people. We all have troubles, but sometimes some folks are kind of stuck there. But I see clarity here for you. I feel like there's joy, and I feel like it's about chasing your joy, connecting and feeling alive, enjoying each moment, really being present. Yes. And especially nature with these two cards. And you might need to get some vitamin B, not B, but you might need vitamin B, but I want to say D as well from the sun too with getting out there. Um, this is, yeah, where you're moving from a point where you might have been stuck here and you're moving on past what you need to let go of, what is limiting. Notice the feeling immediately changes where we had so much freedom and joy and we're a sunbeam here, right? Bouncing across the sky, happy and free. And we're leaving behind being trapped behind false notions of oneself, or, it's more about being yourself, being transparent and just being you and being present and real, authentic. Um, However, this is also about, too, with this card, honoring boundaries, not allowing people, being clear about that, um, not allowing people to breach those things, boundaries. Especially, you get the card of the villain. It's interesting. You get the card of moving on from very dark energy, and I think darker people in the sense of shadier types of people. Doing shadow work is going to pay off big time because you do have the sun here. So I think you'll like punch a hole through it, literally. And I just feel like with the sun and these cards that are talking about those that have been negative in your life, you're leaving them behind and moving on. And you're meant to move on. You're meant to have more joy and to have sunlight. And if these people bring nothing but clouds and, dark clouds, negative stuff, you're out of there. You're out of there. It's like you know what's yours. You're clear on that. And you're not going to be fooled. Yes, you have been doing shadow work. Well, good job, because you know what? Look at that. You've really cleaned up nicely. So you are just on track, doing great. Okay? And embrace your joy. And don't be afraid to be more childlike, too. Like, if you want to get the urge to buy some bubble mixture and go outside and make great big bubbles in the sunshine, do it. Do it. Be playful. Really feel like moving around. You're physically dancing, and just getting out of that stuck, cold, dark energy into summer energy, shall we say, where you're light and flowers, and you know what I'm saying. And just embracing that and really living in that moment and letting the other stuff go, letting it go. All right. I also get that someone's going to try to maybe emotionally blackmail you. Don't allow that to happen, where they try to make you feel guilty with your emotions, because I've got flesh, blood here, emotions, and I've got the devil. So don't let them try and steal your light. Don't let them try and steal your peace, your confidence, your joy, your playfulness. That is the beauty of you. Okay? And that's why you're also getting to mind boundaries, because there are just some people that when they see something bright, pretty, and shiny, they just want to go over there and mess it up. You're not done with them. I think you will be finishing though this year. I do. Because your energy needs to fly. You need to be light like a butterfly and, and not be getting stung like a bee from someone. Um, you need to have that lightness. So I believe you'll be leaving the negative energy aside, moving beyond that, outgrowing it. And as part of natural, consequences, you start meeting different people and opening up more different experiences. Then I think this person's holding you back. And it's really more, I feel like they're exerting and projecting their own fear. Oh, you're done with that chapter in your life? Right. Good. Because I just see, if anyone dares to, I think, make the mistake of stepping on your toe, I think you're going to have the clarity to say, not my problem. Sorry. No, thank you. All right. So you keep doing that shadow work. And then I think once you feel like you've completed that enough, embrace light. Fuel yourself up with that light. Okay. Bye, love. Bye. Love you guys. All right. So that's what I have for you guys. I was just telling my daughter and her girlfriend that I love them. Bye. Okay. My kids. All right. Hey, Isabel. Blessings, beautiful soul, and to you too. Okay. We are now on Ash's question. When do you see me finding a boyfriend? I reconnected with a previous guy I talked to named Philippe, and he said he wants to be my boyfriend and take care of me. Well, that's very nice. Very nice. But I say, make sure that he's not a control freak, because sometimes the ones that want to control you can end up like really be controlling. But let's just see. I can set this deck aside, I think. Oh, no, I just got no. Use this deck. Okay. I will do that. All right. So, is there a boyfriend, a new relationship coming into Ash's life? And I'll look at Philippe or Felipe, um, and see if it looks like, how do you feel about him? I mean, you got to trust your instinct because you're a Cancer and you have good intuition. I can only say if he's just going to take care of you, you end up often sometimes resenting it. People can end up resenting it if you don't also feel the same back. So be careful. Let's just take a look. Although it might be that he's a wonderful, nurturing person. Let's see what we get. I think I should ask, is Felipe, I'll call him that. You definitely feel attracted to. Cool, cool. I'm glad to hear it. Would he be a good match? Would Felipe be a good match? Would Felipe be a good match? What is likely to play out? Would Felipe be a good match for Ash? Ooh, it's finally starting to cool off a little bit. All right. I get the shadow self, chaos. Now, don't worry, I'm going to shuffle again with a different deck because I'll use a couple of different ones. And I get vomit snakes, pure negativity, toxicity, fears. Ooh, I don't know. There could be some fears there that could be hanging around that he might even have. Um, I don't know if you have them. I think it would be normal to have them, but there's some really toxic fear here that's popping up. And it's something that could cause chaos. It needs to be released because we're being given the purge negativity to, release this toxicity or fear. Okay. I get owl spirit. Perceive what is hidden. Yeah, there is something that may not be on the, you know, clear right now to you about this that may not have come out or could be a hidden side to him. And I get the key, which is that there's secrets to be revealed that need to be unlocked. That's interesting. So that there's some sort, you might need to dig a little bit on this guy. Okay. Yes. Very strong. He's a Scorpio. That makes sense. And he's your Gemini dominant with Scorpio moon and Cancer Venus. Thank you. Okay. Well, I think it looks like he may have a side to him that you may not like so well if you knew about it. According to these cards, if they're correct, he may have a shadow side that you might find hard to take. Toxic, actually. All right, just keep that in mind. There might be some kind of a toxic fear that needs to be purged here or released. And if he doesn't do that, you could have someone that if he's insecure, let's say, that could be very controlling when you go somewhere or, accuse you of things that you haven't done, that kind of thing as a possibility. Let me just see. I get the tea house here, and this is about self mastery and to refine the temperament. This is temperance. There's something within him that needs balancing, a pretty strong imbalance that's a hidden fear. We've all got them. I'm not going to try to make this person out to be bad or anything, but I think would pose, according to these cards, a significant enough issue if you don't talk about it. There is possibility to heal. I do get regeneration, healing, spiritual awakening. So it looks like there could be, with patience and awareness, this shadow element, this hidden fear that he may not have revealed to you. He may not even know he has it. I think could get, worked out here with temperance and what's this again? Regeneration. If he takes account, if he takes responsibility, okay? And if you take account for yours, so it's all fair across the board. But it's about self mastery and keeping control of yourself, not allowing your insecurities or your, uh, let's say, temperament to get the better of you and be the boss of you rather than you controlling it. So, it could be that he's got a bad temper. I don't know what it is for sure, but it does show us that there is something, and it's not unusual because I'm married to a Scorpio. They're very secretive people, and they were slow to trust. Um, it just could be that maybe together you guys help each other through this, because I do see something here that feels like is this kind of working through this insecurity or whatever that fear might be that he has. I feel that he has it. Um, So just be careful about that. and make sure to talk things through with him. And if you cannot, if he's not willing to open up, there's only so much you can do if somebody isn't willing to open up. Yeah, there's a lot of emotional, I think it could come from trauma, and more than likely probably does with this card. This is the flash flood of emotion. Highly emotional type of issue, as one would expect, that's hidden. He needs to surrender, let go of it with the hanged man and see things from a different perspective. Now, if he's willing to listen to you, and like one good thing I can say about my Scorpio husband is that he is one of those that is willing to listen. And if this guy is that way too, and maybe that's why I'm getting these cards, you might be able to discuss things with each other and come to an understanding, a different point of view, and get through the emotional heaviness. You've definitely had trouble opening up to him and trusting him, working on communicate. Keep it up. Keep it up. Be transparent. Um, because I think that's really important. And if you don't have communication, then it just remains stuck. So to move that forward, communication, communication. And sometimes people aren't ready right away, but at some point that has to happen. Keep reapproaching the mirror. As above, so below. This would be the card of communication because it's representing the magician. So we're highlighting communication and manifesting what you want. So if you want to have a good relationship, you know that communication is going to be key to making that happen. That's in there. And open the cage, liberation, release, and expression. I like this actually. It is perhaps working together through your fears. We first talked around September and October of last year. Well, you know what? It looks like you guys might work through your fears together, but key and communication and transparency and being supportive, of each other in that basic way is really important. I see you guys have the possibility of really being able to make some breakthroughs and some, I think, really strong growth there with those cards. Despite the fact that those cards are really very strong, I think maybe you guys are there to help each other. There's an opportunity for growth there. Both, I think, where perhaps both of your darker, shadow fears are concerned. So keep talking. And I think there's a possibility of something really positive there. Keep me in the loop, okay? That's what I'm getting. Inner dimension, hidden knowledge. Yeah, I just feel like you guys could get very deep. But yes, advancing to higher levels, momentum, soul activation. So this might be one of those cases, like I was saying, where you guys kind of trigger growth for each other. We get people like that in our life. So I think that's why you've got the strong pull toward each other. And I feel like you could help each other grow through those shadow fears and insecurities um, that are significant, that would hold you back. Okay? Keep us posted. All right? Because it looks like you guys are going to be doing that from those cards. Those were pretty clear and made sense to me. All right. Maria, our next Scorpio to talk about. Okay, the love life. All right, let's take a look. You know what? I have also another deck that I got here recently, which I forgot about using this one, a Mystic Path Oracle. So I'm setting that down. And this one's more about relationship. Okay. Well, this one's actually more about growth. This one's not so much about relationship. Must have put that on the other. All right. Well, we'll use these. You know what? Use them second. I feel like I want to use this deck again. I feel like this is the right one for the relationship aspect. Okay. I think the cards are more suited toward that information. And no slidey slide. These ones do slide. All right, Maria, Scorpio. Let's talk about the love life. What the heck happened? Where's it going? What's the energy like? Asking guides to help me to read accurately and clearly on Maria's love life. She's been devastated. So I asked Spirit to lift Maria up and mend her heart and help her grow and be confident and pick someone more suited, guide her to someone suited that will cherish her and take care of her and be a great friend and lover. So what is the way forward with love? What does Maria need to know? She's feeling lost. Let me just focus on you for a minute, Maria, because with all these readings on people, I like to make sure that I give each person a good shuffling for their reading, okay? Make sure we're not getting the same cluster of cards again. Oh, that's not what I thought. It's a little parcel. Sorry, Comfort. He lives in New York City too. I think it looks really good, Ash. I think that you guys could make a lot of growth with each other if he's willing to open up. Scorpios are very deep, very, very sensitive people and lovely people. My husband's loyalty, and I'm very loyal to him, so but I love that about him. Okay, let's see, Maria. I think we got you, girl. Okay. Well, you've got a completion cycle, dear. You've got the universe, which is a beautiful card. Okay. And this is about for your life to expand. I think that this person would not have been somebody you could do that with. This is a new cycle for you. Okay. And you're at a turning point. This is a change of direction, new path, where you can choose which way to go. Okay. And you might feel like, I don't know. I don't know which way to go, lady. That's why I'm asking you to read for me. But this is okay. Everything is a part of the way to getting there. It's part of the journey. And this is the realization that you're at a crossroads, a turning point, and you can make some really important changes in your life to open up your life. Okay? No worries, Ash. You're getting the portal card. This is a time of transition. Okay, so what is passing away? There's another door that's going to open. I think you've got another person that you're meant to be with, Maria. Um, you're in between right now. All right. Just so you can look at that card. You're about ready to go through that other portal into a new dimension, girl, and a new love. I can feel it. I can. Interdimensional beings. So I want you to lean on your spirit guides, angels, whatever you're at home with, whatever spiritually feels good to you, and pull on them for strength and to get you through right now your hurt feelings and your uncertainty, all of that, because I see you deciding to get out there again and just be yourself. And I feel like you will cross paths. I do. I feel this really intuitively with the right person, but you need to remain open. Don't shut down. Now, I know that's really at first what you want to do, and that's fine because you've been hurt. And you're a Scorpio, very sensitive feelings. I do the same. I've got a lot of water in my chart, though I'm a Virgo. I I pull back in too, and it's like, gotta lick my wounds a little bit. That's fine. Baby yourself, TLC, do it. And then get back out there, make sure that you're being social, and getting out there and just having a good time. Make the focus be going out and having a good time, not necessarily meeting anyone. And then if you do, that's a bonus. But let your focus always be if if you're looking to meet someone, firstly, to have a good time. And I always say this because when you're having a good time, that's when you look the sexiest. That's when you look the most attractive to other people. Avoidance, okay? Not facing fears. There's some spiritual obstacles here. Uh, Avoiding negative energy. There might be a desire to not, and I get it if you do have that. If you do have that, but I feel like there's something that you need to confront maybe with this relationship. And I'm sure you're wondering, yeah, what was that? Because I don't understand what happened. But I only you can do that in looking at, I think, whatever darkness that partner possessed. This is a shadowy kind of an element here. And realizing at the very least that you don't want that kind of person that could do this kind of thing to you again. Here we go. Yes, it's to get you to walk away. I think also you definitely have divine union. Somebody better suited to you, my dear. That's kind of a nice card. Very romantic. But yeah, you know, especially maybe where relationships are concerned, if there's certain things you've avoided in relationships, or if it is something that the type of male that you have been with has done this, or person, whatever, the type of person you've been with, if there's been a certain negativity that they've had, this is about not linking back up with that kind of energy again. I feel like, and being clear and aware. I think the obstacle to a new relationship would only be that you just need to face your fears about relationships and know that you're okay with no matter what, out someone there to validate you. But it's nice to have a companion. Um, and I think that that kind of confidence, if you can own that, would be best. So there's the sacred embrace, divine union coming. Okay. And just facing your fears that where relationships are concerned and not letting those fears close you off or shut you down. Not saying that what has happened to you in the past is an automatic meaning of that's what you're going to get again. You know, you have to keep open. And here we have the spider web. Okay, obstacles, trapped between realms, underworld. there was something I think that you were staying stuck in with this person and you just were not moving beyond with the way that person you were with was. He's actually done you a favor. I say he, but to be fair, I don't want to just assume everything about everyone, but whoever this person was, I do feel like uh, you need to open, okay? There's a feeling that this person also, I don't know, did they have too much control in your life? Because there is a feeling here of somebody that's controlling or, just kind of negative, trapped. It's about being free and free of the heaviness, whatever it is, that their particular negativity that they carried around. It's about you walking away from that, you needing to be away from that. There's better energy for you in someone else. I think it's really about coming to believe that yourself and being confident in that yourself. Quantum jump. Yes, tap into an alternate version of yourself, your alter ego, the part of you I think that is more confident, playful, and secure, gets out there and connects. Don't allow this to shut you down from people and getting out there and thinking, well, I'm just not good enough. If they didn't want me, I'm just going to get a repeat. I understand if you feel that way, because a lot of us do. We think, uh, you know, and I think that there's some very dark things perhaps about this individual that you just didn't need to have on board because I'm getting a lot of heavy energy here. This is the villain card. And maybe he needs to play the jerk, or whoever this is needs to play the jerk so that you move on. Because I think you would have settled perhaps in place with this person and you would have been stuck. Because I'm getting cards that show that it's time for you to expand and, you know, just not being closed in. You need to do new things, have a different kind of person around you that encourages and brings that out in you and brings out a completely different part of yourself. I think that's part of the alternate version of yourself there. You're going to be very different between the person you are now, I feel, which makes a lot of sense, and to the person you're going to become. It's just a feeling. You're growing. And it makes sense. I see you going into just a lighter, brighter, more transparent, clear energy, where you're getting to know yourself and you can look at this relationship. And if you need to, I think talking to people is really good. I'm here if you want to talk to me privately. My email is always usually in the description box. It's always in the banner here, Maya Murphy 68 at gmail.com. And you can shoot me off. I'm not great at answering it, but I will get back to you when I can. I get the sun for you. You're going to come out of the dark to the light here, where you have vitality and you know your worth and you're feeling it, um, feeling alive. Can you see that? Let's look at this energy. I've gotten so many dark cards. It just feels like this person kind of had you in the dark. And I feel like you're free. And your energy is going to go, I feel, into a more positive direction, despite the fact that you may not see how that would be at this time. I see you going in a more healing direction and a happier direction. Okay? Where you have clarity. There's a change of perspective coming to you. So you're kind of in this moment of suspension for you to reflect. Take the time, your quiet time to reflect, write down in a notebook any of your insights. That may also help you to get clear on things if you feel uncertain. This is definitely about reflection, taking that time for that inner knowledge. Oh, thank you. Yeah, these are those crystals that, and then I got like a little Tahitian pearl. And I feel like they betrayed you on some level here. Card of betrayal, ego death, trauma, pain. That has to be released. So once you're ready to release this pain, bit by bit, I feel like the sun rises and you're in that new time where you don't feel you don't still feel bad anymore. You're ready to move on. And I think that with time you will do that. Right now. Yeah, it's a little painful yet. And so you have to release this energy, okay? This is, where you are right now. That's right where you need to be, as unpleasant as it might be, okay? Because you have to release it. And you're going toward that. The coyote, the trickster. Just don't think this person was honest with you. There's lessons in that, and there's chaos around them. Yeah. I don't know if there's like the coyote here and people talking or rumors or gossip, but this could be lies. He may not be honest about something. He might be saying things that aren't true. So be aware of that. You might have to bring some clarity with with that sunshine I see coming into your life. But you are losing someone that doesn't, I feel like, have the ability to give you what you need as a person that is worthy of decency and love and truth. This person doesn't have that strength that you need. Yes, again, see, there's that energy of being stuck or trapped. So this is the door opening to something new. You will move on. You will get sick of this, feeling this way, and you will let it go. And look at this purification. Take lots of baths, baby yourself, girl, lots of spa. You know what? Make yourself an appointment, get your nails done, your hair done. Give yourself some spa time. This is you in your bathtub with all your candles, enjoying yourself, knowing your worth. Do not let this person make you feel that you are unworthy of someone better. It's because you are worthy of someone better than them that this didn't work out. And just really, I wish I could get you to believe it, but I see it very clearly. And I think that you're preparing yourself for a better person that's going to come into your life. This person was not it. Okay? So I see betrayal on their part, a lack of honesty. They're immature is also is what I get. They're just not, they don't have your depth and your sensitivity. And you just need someone much more mature and that has their stuff together. And I believe that you will get to that when you are done releasing all this pain. Remember though to be kind to yourself. You don't talk negative to yourself. Don't say you're not enough. Don't join in. And stop any negativity. How you speak to yourself matters. Okay. All right, sweetheart. All right, Gina, this is the last question of the live. My voice is starting to. I got a last sip of coffee. All right. Okay. Do you see a blue nami? Woohoo! This November midterm. Intuitively, I do. But put this one away. And I'm going to grab this other deck right here. I don't want to hit the wrong button on that. Let's see. Let's see if we get yes or no. Blue wave in November for the United States. Will there be the blue wave of Democrats taking control of government in November? Oh, I just feel a card I've got to mend here. They catch when they get little tears in them. Yeah, it's okay. Just try to be more gentle. Do it this way. So, in November, the midterms, will there be a blue tsunami of Democrats taking control? Yes or no, please? Let's see what we get. I feel like, yes, this is a new direction with the Page of Pentacles. And I think financially, people really aren't happy with the economy. And need I say more? You know, nobody likes paying $6 for a gallon of gas in California. Yes, Ace of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. We got something new going, folks. I feel it. Yes. There's a change coming, and it's going to be very clear. We get the sun. Woohoo! I feel like having a party. And we get death. I'm liking death. That's the end of that. You know what I want to say. Hopefully the Save Act will not be passed. I did a reading on that, and last time I did a reading on it, I did not see it being passed. Let me just throw cards on it really quickly. So I say yes. Yes to a blue tsunami in November. Let's just see if the Save Act, gonna just throw cards again, because things can change. Is the Save Act going to be passed? The cards I got last time were really strong with a no. But let's just see. Will the Save Act be passed requiring people to have their stupid birth certificate when they register to vote or their passport? Will that pass? Will the Save Act pass or no? Will the Save Act pass or no? I don't think so. I see people feeling united and being together and looking forward to a new day with the Three of Wands, expanding that joy. Look at the joy with the Ten of Cups. No, I don't think so. Still not feeling it. Another 10, the Ten of Pentacles. I think that's we the people. I think no. Ace of Swords. Here's the leader in leadership, authority, the Emperor. No, we're going to be bringing him under control with strength and also tempering his overreach with that card. So there you go. I don't think so. I'm still not getting it. And we'll keep up looking on it because we know that can change. Now, but I don't think it will. Okay. I think that that's kind of locked in a sense from the cards that I get. Like I said, I'm not going to assume that, and I will just keep, checking in. So thank you guys so, so much. And although these are trying times, be positive, be courageous, and know that you matter. And yeah, the passport, isn't that silly? And that we're going to get through this. We really will. And we're going to be better for it. We'll take this lesson and we'll, make lemonade. So I think actually the true golden age, in essence, is us realizing that we're all interconnected and it's good to be nice to each other and kind and loving and empathetic. You know, I see us going toward a kinder world. I do. All right. All right, you guys. Much love. Mwah. Prayers up for you all and myself. See you later. Take care.